Okay, can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Sandy, roll call.
Councilmember Stacy Green is unavailable at the moment. We're going to try and make contact with him via phone. Councilmember Kim Green? Here. Councilmember Bob Hall? Here. Councilmember Ken Palfini?
Here.
Mayor Susan Tavalero?
Here. Thank you very much. Now is the time for any non-agenda public comment. So if there's anybody back there that has something they would like to say that's not on the agenda, now would be the time. Can I get, you're right at that camera, there we go. Your name and address.
Virginia Payne.
And you can take your mask off for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Virginia Payne, 208 Jackson Street, here in Weed.
Okay, go ahead.
We have a problem with feral cats. And we understand feral cats. Everybody has them. Our real issue is with the feeder stations that have been located behind our house, specifically 8 houses. Feeder station that has been there for 3 years. We have asked the man many times to move the feeder stations. We are next to several fields. We're not objectable, but why do they have to be there for 3 years? Please do not feed behind our house. And he insists that it is his right to feed behind my house because he is with a nonprofit agency. I have letters and pictures of the bowls. We're talking pounds of food that he leaves daily. Sometimes he feeds 2 times a day. And when he feeds after 3, 4 o'clock, we end up with a lot of raccoons through the evening. I have made copies for you guys, for you to look at. There are statements from my neighbors. We really believe that there needs to be a feeder station feral cat ordinance in the city of Weed, because without one, it is tying everybody's hands. Mine as a homeowner and a taxpayer, community service, everybody. And this guy thinks that he has the right. Basically, we feel harassed by cats for 3 years. So, and one of my other neighbors here is here to attest to this, and she's a business owner over there. They harass my dog. Every morning I have to go out and make sure there's no cats in my yard so I can let my dog out. So, that's pretty much it. Chief, can you hand these out for me, please?
Are they getting spayed and neutered?
No, ma'am.
Okay,
They
that's-
have not, on their site, it states that they're getting funding for spaying and neutering. But they have, in 3 years, they have not spayed or neutered one cat, not one. In fact, yesterday there was 5 new kittens.
Oh, goody.
So, and we've seen numerous pregnant cats. They are not doing anything. And they say it's because there's no vets. But they cannot continue to feed this colony. It is not healthy. It's just expanding, and it's exploding every 3, 4 months.
Okay, thank you. Bob?
Chief, in the past, we've had the issues, and the only thing we could do is pick them up, get the cat, bring them down, and have it sterilized. That's all we had. Do we have anything for?
Bob, microphone.
Excuse me, do we have anything, I mean, the people, we know that there are people that don't live in our community that come into our community and drop in this, evidently this fellow lives in your area.
No, sir, he does not.
Okay, well, do we have anything, way to hold people that are feeding these cats responsible, or is there? Am I up the wrong tree, or?
So at this point, the state gives the city the right to address the problem.
Is that on? Is it on?
It says it's on.
Okay. Is that all right, Jeremy?
2466.
So the state gives the cities the right to regulate this individually. Currently have no ordinance regulating feeding of feral animals. Fall back to the state fish and wildlife, excuse me. Fixed it because of the problem where it's bringing in the raccoons. That's creating a problem. Business owners out there, for business, childcare, and then as a resident, also the concern would be garden, where we're having in other neighborhoods. Gardens are being contaminated because of all. It is a growing problem. Complaints, and more than just extended. Previously, in 2013, prior to the bullfire 2014, we started a feral cat program for the city to catch, spay, or neuter. That was the decision that was made. That quickly grew into an expense for the city because you're having to monitor traps. And then once you do catch or something, you take it down to the vet, and there's a fee to have that done. So quickly, within several months, and I can't remember the numbers again, it was 2014, it stopped after the bullfire. But I want to say within 3 months, our expense was at $1,600. It was just instantaneously out there. So.
Do you know of any ordinances that have already been, that communities have used for issues like this?
Previously, we looked at some. This has been several years. I'd have to look at some more now. Issues that you run into is that you have people who favor cats, who don't want the cats euthanized. They want them spayed or neutered. But then you also have groups like the Audubon Society who want the cats done away with because it affects the birds. We do have it's not a feral cat problem. We do have, that I know of it, I believe they're somewhat possessed cats by the neighbor, but we have a person who feeds birds regularly, and they are feuding with the neighbor over the cats sitting there attacking the birds when they're at the feeders. Mm-hmm. So and a cat's a unique thing because you can't actually, the ownership of a cat comes down to possession. A cat's not like a dog. So you have that issue too. Is it a feral cat or is it an actual owned animal?
So what I'm getting at, it seems as if you're going to feed these cats and they're going to proliferate, you're going to be, you have to be held some responsible because you're.
If you're not also doing the spay and neuter, you're only contributing to the
right.
problem. Especially with a cat, I don't know if everybody's aware, but cats can actually get pregnant while they're pregnant. So they can actually have 2 litters at the same time going.
I did not need to know that.
I didn't know that either.
That explains a lot in my neighborhood.
Yes.
Yeah, we've got, ours is bad.
Mm-hmm.
We had a feeder for a while.
There's, so we're looking at, to make a move on this, or we'd have to check
Well,
out some ordinances that might fit this, Tim, or?
I would recommend getting in contact with some of these animal rescue groups too about trapping and spade and neutering as well. I mean, I think that's going to be.
But these people that are going to continue, I know them myself, that are going to continue doing this. The problem's not going to, it's going to just get, I mean, we're going to be neutering, spading these people's cats while they feed them and they don't give them, there's no other health.
We can look at revising our ordinance to deal with it, but I'm not sure to what extent.
Really?
Yeah, I mean it's a common problem with a lot of cities.
So we can ask staff, that
yeah.
would be you and
Direct us
Justin
yep.
and Ryan, to look, not you, different Ryan, to look into what we can be done. I am with you, that would make me a crazy woman, a crazier woman.
It's ruining my garden.
I'm sure,
And
yeah.
thanks for coming in, thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate knowing that. I've said this at a meeting before, I spay and neuter everything.
Absolutely.
So, okay, thank you. I appreciate it. And what staff will be, if you maybe come back next month to see if anything, we've found out anything.
I would love to. Thank you.
Okay, good, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Can I just address it too?
Absolutely.
Okay, so my name's Karen Keating, and I live at 230 Jackson. And I run a licensed daycare in-home, and I'm self-supportive on my own. And I understand, and I love animals myself, and I understand why people think that these nonprofits are wonderful at first and that they're helping the poor kitties, but they're not. The cats are suffering. The cats go through the cold, they go through the heat, they're fight. I woke up from sleep, they're screaming and crying, and the babies, and they're getting attacked by wild raccoons, and they're becoming dependent on humans. And needless to say, I clean up the cat feces all over my yard. My yard's been ruined. My garden, it's been ruined. I've asked the people many times to please relocate them at least. I mean, I know they're collecting money to do this, and it's just what he said. It's perpetuated into this like 40, 50 cats. And cat feces, it carries disease. These cats are injured. They don't have any vaccinations. They're having multiple litters.
They're all related
They
to
carry
each other?
parasites. You know, they can carry toxoplasmosis or whatever it is, which is really harmful in
There's
the
a whole list
soil.
of that, yeah.
And I'm one person. I'm doing childcare. Like yesterday, I worked from 7 o'clock in the morning till midnight with kids. I don't have the energy or the time all by myself to be out there cleaning up after all of these cats. And
Yeah.
I really could use your guys' help in our neighborhood. Not only that, my neighbors are yelling with the feeder guys cussing and yelling at them. I've called Weed PD. I tried to get along with everybody, but it's ridiculous. And it's not being nice to the kitties like people think. It's not.
No, it's not.
It's not helping them.
Yeah, no, I have to
Mayor?
agree with you.
It's
May I ask
cruel.
a
It's
question?
inhumane.
Yes.
Is this the same neighborhood?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, what were you at Jackson Street?
2:30.
2:30.
Thank you.
Thank you. Was there anybody else out there? Are we all good? Oh, hi, Richard.
Hi, Sue. If I can get this off. Thanks. Richard Dinges I'm the executive director for the Weed Chamber of Commerce at 34 Main Street. Just kind of give you an update. We've had a lot of tourists starting to come through. So just in the past week, we've had about 45 people that have showed up, not including the ones that just come through the driveway, pick up the magazines and go out from outside. So we can really see the tourist trade starting to pick up here in town. We have started working with Carnivale and the Carnivale Committee. Our next meeting is going to be May 18th. We're going to be meeting at 6 o'clock at the Hilo. So if you're on the committee, if you can make it, I did send out an email. Hopefully you've got it. I will be sending it out to you and Ken and Bob here tomorrow. But we are starting on that. We've gotten a lot of progress done so far, so we're really excited about getting this event off the ground. I think a lot of people are going to show up, so hopefully we'll have a good time when that happens. We should have everything else posted on our website. We're doing that right now, so just to let you know. And also, I just got a call from Matt Bauer, who is with the philologists. He says that it is not being televised right now over your net, so
Oh.
I'm not sure if there is a
Jeremy?
delay there.
It's not televised, it should be
I-
online. Our meetings haven't been televised for.
But I mean, is it on your website?
No, not until after.
It's live streaming on the website right now.
Okay, good, okay. Because he just called me about 5 minutes ago and said it wasn't happening. Got it? Okay, thank you.
They haven't started yet.
Yeah, it might have been,
Could
We
be,
were late.
sorry.
which
Okay,
is not mine.
thank you very much.
Thank you, Richard. Is that it? Anybody else out there?
No, there's no one else here.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Tim? Are we moving on to regular? Okay. Okay, so next. Oh, well, we'll do council announcements and comments. You want to go first? Yes. Ken?
Sure. I just want to mention that I went to a C2C meeting for the Collier Center. Not much to report at that point, other than I'm their new vice president, I guess. I thought if I showed up, I wouldn't get that position, but I was wrong. I do want to bring up a conversation that I've had and some input regarding our fines and fees on our code violations. I would like to actually see if we could get some updating to those code violations. My biggest question is what do we, if we fine somebody, apparently we're not being very effective on the fines because it doesn't seem to change behavior. I always thought a fine was at least to start a change in behavior, maybe not a fully effective, but I would like to see maybe we could get out code violations, at least a warning, followed by a violation, a ticket or a citation that had some impact behind it. The second thing I'd like to do is apparently we have some water issues regarding, since they have closed off the extraction of water and the selling of water in the county, we have been having some impacts, I believe, in our city with people filling. So maybe if we need a special meeting to introduce an ordinance about some kind of water extraction. I think if we work in concert with the county in this situation, that we might be more effective with driving elements of illegal cannabis production out of our areas. I think by letting them get water in the city of Weed is kind of counterproductive. So, that's it.
Are they filling up out of our fire hydrants or somebody's garden hose?
Garden hose.
Into into just one of those big tank things? Okay.
I haven't seen that for myself, but those are the reports that I am hearing.
Okay.
And I believe that they can be validated by our water meters.
I think so too.
And
Yes,
I think if somebody takes 30 or 40,000 gallons of water and we charge them $27 for that extra water, I might start having to fill up my truck myself. I mean,
Yeah, we're looking into that.
It's becoming a problem.
Yes,
Oh, did we already know that?
we just found out like yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just wanted to bring it to council's attention so we can actually start maybe a procedure to help out. Okay, okay.
Mr. Hall?
I have nothing, Ms. Mayor. I'm saving up for next time. I'm taking double time next month.
Do you think that next month?
Next month, I get double time.
Okay. We'll see.
It's a long story.
I'll think about that.
Okay.
Mrs. Green?
Like Richard said, we've started our Carnivale meetings, and the dates are July 7th through the 11th. We are keeping our fingers crossed that the state actually does open up on June 15th, because that's going to be a big decipher as to what we can and can't do. Through the rec department, we are starting work on the Suns ballpark again and attempting to change it into an American Legion park. There's going to be a work crew up there this Saturday, putting down seed in the infield, and it's all volunteer, so if anybody wants to help, they'll be there Saturday. And we have applied again for another Scott's grant. And so keep your fingers crossed that we do get funded this time. The community swimming pool at Bel Air, we were afraid we were not going to be able to open this year. And we have it scheduled to open May 29th, but fingers crossed again. We're just hoping that the pool itself holds together because we have we've repaired it with flex tape. And so far, it's the water's still there. So keep our fingers crossed again that we make it through this summer.
It'd be a good commercial.
What's the status of the grants that you've applied for?
Those were the Prop 68 grants, and I emailed my person at the state on Monday to find out where our contract is, and I still haven't heard back from her. So they're all on a work-at-home order now, so I don't know if she's actually receiving phone calls or if she's, usually she gets right back to me, but I haven't heard from her yet.
Did you have any more questions? Okay, I have 3 things. Weed Rotary on Saturday, May 22nd, is going to do a cleanup of the South Weed area. Anybody and everybody is welcome to join us. We'll be down there at 9 a.m. till probably about noon. I think last time it only took us till about maybe 11. But we'll have gloves and garbage bags and grabbers, and it shouldn't be as awful as it was the last time because we did it the last time. So that is May 22nd at 9 a.m. and everybody is welcome to come, and we have snacks and drinks and good things. And then I'm on the County Transportation Committee, and there was 3 things that I got from the meeting that I thought people should know about. At I-5 and Highway 89, they said Azalea Road will be the only part that is closed, but they're going to be doing some construction this summer, so it could affect the exits. So it might affect the freeway. Hopefully not too bad. The Weed Rest Stop will be closed for about a month and a half each, but not at the same time. So northbound will be closed, and then they'll be working on southbound, or vice versa, I don't know. Starting in June. And if anybody besides me has been wondering what they're building down there almost to Truck Village Drive, in between Southweed and Truck Village Drive, where they're putting in a new bridge, they are putting in a new bridge. Southbound traffic will be going on that new bridge when they finish it. And the last thing is, this week is National Police Week. So thank you, Justin, and all of your people for what you guys do. Yep. It's not an easy job, and I wouldn't do it myself. So thank you. And that's it for me. So next we have a presentation from Paris Petrick with the Siskiyou Media Council.
Hi. I just made it. Hi, Council. Thank you so much for allowing us to present tonight. As Sue said, I am Paris Petrick, and I'm the Executive Director of Siskiyou Media Council. We are the host to the 2 public access television stations, MCTV 15, which is Weeds, and YCTV 4, which is Wairika's. I have put together a video presentation for you tonight, since it's scary to talk in front of all of you. So if you could roll that would be great.
Hello, I'm Sheriff Jeremiah LaRue. Siskiyou Media Council has a rich history in serving the community of Siskiyou County. In 1978, the Wairika City Council founded YCTV Channel 4 as an all-volunteer public access station. In 1998, MCTV Channel 15 was founded. In 2006, YCTV4 merged with MCTV 15, and in 2007, the organization was restructured and renamed Siskiyou Media Council. Public access television channels MCTV 15 and YCTV 4 are free from corporate influence, with content made by the people and for the people of Siskiyou County. Content like Inside Siskiyou, the only televised news show in Siskiyou County, featuring 2 anchors.
Hello, Siskiyou County. I am Shireen Strauss.
Hi guys, I'm Becca Ralph from Siskiyou Reviews.
And myself. I'm Sheriff Jeremiah LaRue, and this is the weekly Sheriff's Report. Now with a new weekly format, together each Friday we bring you an overview of what is happening throughout Siskiyou County. News where you live. Of course, you can watch MCTV 15 and YCTV 4 on your local cable television provider. But did you know that you can also watch the live simulcast on the web for free?
I convince you? I think that's fantastic.
As well as video on demand? You can find both options on the front page of the SMC website, SiskiyouMediaCouncil.org. Yes, you can watch your local news, COS home football games.
And now here's Suvansa with a pass. He's got a man wide open, and it's Biggs! He's on his way to the end zone! Touchdown, Eagles! Are you kidding me?
City council meetings, as well as newly created Siskiyou County public content on your smartphone, computer, and coming soon, Roku. As a nonprofit 501c3, Siskiyou Media Council relies heavily on tax-deductible memberships, donations, and partnerships. Together, we can continue to give you a voice, a platform, and the information and support our community needs.
One of the values that we came up with that is one of our guiding values is evolution, because we constantly want to be evolving to meet the needs of our community.
Today, over 2,000 children throughout Siskiyou County will read the same book to promote the importance of daily reading, talking, and singing.
The Madrone Hospice Board of Directors, our staff, volunteers, and I welcome you to our virtual Light Up a Life ceremony, a ceremony celebrating life, love, and light. I am very grateful to the Siskiyou Media Council for their expertise and guidance during the process of producing this virtual ceremony.
Siskiyou County's only television stations. Siskiyou Media Council truly appreciates your support. Thank you.
Yay. Yay. Thank you. Thank you. I as it stated, I'm just going to say a couple things. I did send, I just gave Tim Rundell some flyers for you guys, little pamphlets, or handouts rather. I just wanted to let you know some of the history that you may not know. It hasn't been actually discussed, and so I'm going to say a little piece here. As host for Siskiyou County's 2 public access television stations, YCTV4 was founded in 1978, as you just saw, and it's one of the country's oldest public access television stations. And MCTV 15 was founded in 1998. At the time that Siskiyou Media Council was founded in 2007, it was moved onto the campus of College of the Siskiyous, where it thrived as both a filming studio and a learning facility for those studying broadcast. Several years later, however, the SMC fell under misguided direction and moved its studio off campus to a private location in Mount Shasta. Recognizing the error, the board terminated the director and then found itself homeless, without equipment, without memberships, and a new sullied reputation due to many burned bridges. And that's when I came on board. So in the 2.5 years that Siskiyou Media Council had hit its lowest point, we have managed to, even during COVID, grow and become a viable source for information for all of Siskiyou County. And our absolute goal is to help unite. Siskiyou County, as you all know, are like little islands out there in beyond, and it is very hard to know what's going on. So we are helping to bridge that gap, that information gap, and provide that unity that hopefully Siskiyou County will embrace. So as you can plainly see, I'm going to summarize here. Many things have changed since our 2009 contractual agreement between Weed and Siskiyou Media Council. However, with renewed dedication to all the public pioneers, public access pioneers who have spent countless hours paving the way for people to have freedom of speech on a corporate-free platform all their own, we ask for your continued support. Together, we can help to unite Siskiyou County while providing valuable information to the people of Weed and beyond. We are looking forward to celebrating Siskiyou County Public Access Television's 50th year of broadcasting together. So if you guys have any questions, just so you know, on that handout, it also has the things that we have done in this last year, even during COVID. So it gives you a year in reflection. But if you have any questions for me, I'd be happy to answer, if I can.
Yes, Mayor, I do. Just in how to utilize this. I mean, to tell you the truth, it's great, but how do suggestion on how?
I am glad you asked that, and that's part of the problem is that when Siskiyou Media Council fell into its hole, it just sort of disappeared. And I went to the fair, not this last year, but when it was open last, and people were like, "Oh yeah, there used to be a public access station." I said, "No, that's still us." It literally disappeared, and so we are trying everything we can to get back on the map. And the way to utilize us is we are 2 blocks from the college. We're right on South Weed Boulevard in the Alvarado building. There is a little whisper campaign that we may return to the campus, but I'm not saying anything, and which would be wonderful. It is open for not only every one of you, but every one of the citizens of Siskiyou County to come in, do their own show, say their own thing. We have education we can teach. We have 2 interns, one from Siskiyou Works, the other from high school. We have 2 interns that are working with us. The idea is that if you have something to say to your constituents, come, be a part of it. And because Weed is the actual MCTV 15 channel belongs to Weed, one of you who is a part of this should be on the board. It is actually written into the initial bylaws and into the initial contract that you guys all have from 2009. So you do need to be more involved, and we are open to you. All you'd have to do is call me, and we will get you in.
How about if something like we had some people here with the feral cats? Would that be something that you would want to gather information on to get people coordinated?
So the idea is that the people themselves create their own programming. Mm-hmm. So we have 2 different ways. If she wanted to do, it's a perfect example, thank you. If she wanted to do an informational and get it out to everyone, what she could do, she could either film it with her phone or her little camera or whatever she wanted to do and film a piece and come in, and she can use our editing equipment, or she can come into the studio, tell us what she wants to do, bring some of her footage too, maybe pictures, and we can cut it together for her. So all she would have to do is pay a producer's fee, which is $100 a year, and it's unlimited access, and you get, use of the equipment and everything else, and she can produce anything that she wants to do, just like everybody else here.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for that question.
Not a question, but I was reading your list of accomplishments.
Okay.
And for COVID, congratulations. I mean, it is a really extensive list.
Thank you. We worked really hard. We're volunteers, and there's kind of 2 of us. So it's a lot of work, and it's what we choose to do because we believe in this truly with all our hearts. So, yeah. Thank you for saying that. Thank you. You're the first person to say that. Thank you. Thanks. There's a lot of stuff. As a matter of fact, I haven't slept in like a week because we're doing the College of the Siskiyou's virtual graduation right now, and it's in its final edit. So it's a big, big one.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you
Thanks for
so
that
much.
information.
Thank
That's
you
great
all so
information.
much.
Thank you. Okay, we're moving to our regular agenda. And we're gonna swap A and B. Hang on. Tim?
Need to make a motion to swap the A and B.
Oh, okay.
I will make a motion to swap the agenda items, A and B.
A second.
It's been moved and seconded to move A to B and B to A. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, so we're at Community Development Council. Will consider contract with Weed Rec and Parks and the Weed Chamber of Commerce. And Kim and I will step down from that. And so you two, Ken, it's you, and you
Okay.
have Stacy on the phone.
All right. We want to introduce the new item A into the, did he hear? Okay.
Stacy, can you hear? Can you hear?
Can you hear? What am I to respond to? I can't hear too well, I'm sorry.
Okay, Ken's gonna go ahead and present the item.
We have an item for community development. It's where the council will consider a contract with the Weed Rec and Park District and the Weed Chamber of Commerce Charitable Foundation to allow permission for the Weed Farmers Market to operate at the Bel Air Park. That's the short gist of it.
I have one question. May I have a question, please?
Sure.
Is there a term on this contract?
The term is for 2 years.
Okay, I didn't
And
hear that,
with a
sorry.
cutoff clause from any party, but the cutoff clause takes 120 days to activate. So if somebody's not happy with what's going on, the farmer's market will most likely continue for the first year, and after that, then I think it would apply. But I think 4 months will almost get us through the whole
Thank you
farmer's
for that
market
answer.
season. Is that
Are we
good?
ready to vote?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Can I get a motion to approve?
I so move.
It's been moved and seconded for the community development agreement. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No opposed, so it passes.
Get well, Stace.
Thanks, Stacy.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Take care over there.
All right, thank you.
Sorry, denied. We're here to answer any questions, so.
Yeah, you're on your own.
I thought
You knew, wasn't
I thought it passed for sure.
Wasn't it for the farmer's market? Yeah. You're on that committee, why were you?
I know. I have no benefit to it.
Okay. Audit presentation, fiscal year 2020, council received the drafted audit and consider acceptance for filing. Charles Plon.
Oh, you had it right.
Pillow. Charles Pillow. Plon. I know,
Pillin.
but you got me confused with telling
Yeah,
me
it's
pillow.
pillin.
Pillin.
Yeah, it's like really simple. Like if I had a D instead of a P, everybody would say Dylan, right? So you say
Well, we had
Pillin.
an old
Same thing.
family in the city of Weed named Pallon, same spelling.
Oh, yeah?
I was gonna, Fred.
Well, it's actually a French name and it should be Pillon, but they Americanized it. Anyways, thank you, council. Good to see you all again. I just want to touch on a few highlights through the financial statements. So if you turn to page 3, does everybody have the audit in front of them, the draft? So turn to page 3. And we had some discussion in the audit committee regarding the interfund balances and also in I guess, the budget meeting that was held beforehand. But, and so I'm pleased that council is taking this up and going to address these interfund balances. But I did want to make a comment on those because there was some discussion as to the methodology of how to get this worked out over the next several years. And we talked about transfers. This is already on the balance sheet. So I didn't catch this when I was talking about this in the audit committee meeting. It's already on the balance sheet. This is when these things get transferred, it won't flow through revenue and expenditures, transfer in, transfer out. Just want you guys to know that, because that's what we talked about before. So as the interfund balances get paid down, it'll be just really a reduction of the liability and the receivable, okay, and an increase in cash or decrease in cash as that money gets transferred back and forth. So anyways, just want to touch on that. You'll find the the liability section in Note 8. So, as if you're wondering where that is, there is one new line item called a bank overdraft payable. It's not as bad as it seems, but it's just the negative, at year end, the negative cash situation that some of the governmental funds were in, which was basically a timing issue. So most of that's been resolved after year end. But we have to move it there. So the other one that I want to touch on is in the notes, so page 19. And I do want to make sure that the council, if you have any questions that you already have set, just interrupt me, ask them. If I passed over a page that you have a question on, and then we'll open it up for questions at the end. But page 19. Page 19. It's in the footnotes, so you'll see the page numbers at the bottom if your copy has them. Okay. You're in the wrong.
I'm in the.
Yeah, you don't have the draft of the audit report. You're looking at the communication letter. You're looking for the thick one. Really thick. In your email. There you go. Okay. All right. So the only one I want to touch on here is Note 2. Note 2 is the lease accounting standard that is changing. Due to COVID-19, they delayed this, but they only delayed it for 18 months. And so now it will be effective for 21-22. And so that's right around the corner. If the city has any long-term leases, whether it be from a lessee or a lessor standpoint, which is more than a year, those long-term leases now have to go on the balance sheet. So it's a pretty heavy-duty standard, very, very different than what we're used to. Big change. So another thing for Emily's plate and Tim's plate will be to analyze any leases that you have. I am definitely available for consultation on this. Many people will be using their auditors to seek advice on how to implement the standard. If you have no long-term leases, or if you modify the leases to be and revise them to still go in effect, keep going with this lessee or lessor, whoever it is, and just bring it under a year, or bring it to a year or less, then it's not subject to the standards. So there's ways to get around it, and we can discuss that. But I just want to point that out because it's coming up, and you don't want to wait till 6/30, 21-22. So you don't want to wait till 6/30-22 while you're getting ready for the audit and go, oh, I'll do all this and prepare for Charlie. You want to start this at the first part of this fiscal year. So I wanted to point that out. And then in the audit committee, we discussed quite a bit of the information on the findings, which are back in the back section of the audit report. Let's see here, where am I? Starting on page 45. And I don't really, need to go, if there's any questions on some of the council members that were not in the audit committee, otherwise I can answer those. Otherwise, the corrective action plans are in the audit report. I agree with those. I think that by the way, those corrective actions, some of these are repeat findings from last year, from the fiscal year 18-19 audit. And the corrective action plans were starting to be implemented, and then COVID-19 lockdowns and furloughs and everything else hit. And so that was the reason that they didn't get done and actually fully implemented by the end of the fiscal year. So getting that into this fiscal year or even into 21-22 will be good. I know council is aware of those, so is management, and so that's it. So I just wanted to go through those. I won't go through the actual findings. They're in the audit report, but sounds like council and management have a pretty good handle on it. So I'll open it up for questions if there is any. Otherwise, I'll be done.
What was the question? I mean, if it's, is it pertinent?
No, it's actually just, we have some issues and some findings. Method to fix those. Probably have to let management. Thank you. Briefly, most of my questions were answered in the audit committee. I think to Sue's satisfaction as well, is that part of our issues was when COVID hit, we got short-staffed. Being short-staffed didn't allow Emily to fix the issues that were brought up in prior discussions on our prior audit, and that we've kind of agreed to add more time, probably more people, giving another employee more hours to order to pick up the general work of the finances, so that she can devote more time to the audit procedures, because it takes a really concentrated amount of time to do the audit procedures. The other factors were to probably, that will be discussed, is that water issue that was brought up, and we'll need to probably discuss that through Prop 218 procedures for our water rates, because we have some deficiencies in water rates, sewer rates, and garbage. So all of those need to be addressed at the same time, I think. Did I miss anything?
We also addressed in there that with these new meters.
Oh, with the AMR meeting.
We're getting, should buy her a ton of time.
Right.
Yes.
Which, you know, makes sense, since she's having to manually put things in. And even if we, you know, even if we get more help and that person does that, it is going to save a ton of time.
My question be to Tim, are there any, as far as the, you know, moving, I'm speaking as a lay person here, is there anything that has moved that has put you in, put this, you know, any surprises to you that puts us in a different situation than before? I mean, as far as changing things, I mean, are there any changes here that make us appear, I mean, we're becoming legal by putting these in the right order? Now, has this changed our financial situation at all?
No, I mean, it still remains the same. I think what's been, you know, part of the audit process has just brought some things to light that need to be handled and managed. And with our auditor and with our city attorney, we're going to be addressing those Prop 218 questions. Internally, we're going to be looking at putting in some things in place, like I said, to give what I call some alone time for Emily, where she can shut her door and get her job done without being interrupted about an angry customer with the wrong reading on their water bill because something was keyed in incorrectly. I mean, those are the type of things that, you know, those constant interruptions, you know, it's not all year long, but there's certain times, of course, like when we're doing budget, preparing for the audit, other times during the year where she needs that alone time. And we're going to certainly work on trying to get that done, so in order to help that, so. But no, as far as the overall thing, I think some of the things that were brought up by Charlie were extremely helpful and for us to move forward.
Any other questions? Thanks.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Charlie.
Thanks, Charlie.
All right, we will move on to item number 7, consent agenda. We're all good with that?
I'll make a motion to pass the consent agenda.
A second.
It's been moved and seconded to pass the consent agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, we will move on to item 9, because we didn't remove anything. Staff reports. Let's see. Justin, would you like to go first?
Just like to remind everybody that on May 21st, we're doing the rabies clinic. We'll be doing that. We're one of 2 entities, Montague being the other for the North County, that are doing that this year. We'll also have the ability, at this time, from what I've been told, there will be somebody there to also provide microchipping for a pretty minuscule fee for having an animal microchip. So that's kind of a nice feature. Other than that, it's business as usual for the police department. Since it was just talked about, I just would like to point out that finance did an amazing job this week, because not only did she prepare those budget packets, she also did time cards while somebody was on vacation. So kudos to them for that.
I thought you were going to say she found you some more money. Wait a minute. What is the time on that rabies clinic?
I don't have it on me right now. I believe it starts at 5. But,
I think so.
We have the flyer available on our Facebook page.
And Em, you've been under the gun. Good work.
got married now.
You've been under the gun, really. That's awesome, awesome. You got us through.
4 to 6.
Oh.
It's from 4 to 6.
And it's right out here.
In the plaza? In the plaza. Okay, thank you.
21st.
Steve?
Hurry, Steve, you might get called again.
Yeah, before your pager goes off.
I know we thanked Crystal Geyser for the purchase of the equipment for the confined space. They bought us a trailer and breathing equipment, but I'd like to thank them again. We did use that this last week for an outage at the mill, and confined space team stood by from Sunday to Saturday morning. So we'll be billing them about $30,000 for that. So that's a good thing for us, and it depends on how many outages they do a year, 1 or 2. Will depend on how much money we make on that, so we really appreciate that equipment. We still are getting communications equipment. It isn't here yet because ours is outdated, so that would be the last piece of the puzzle for that team. So, and it's the only one in the area, in the county that we know of. So now we can just take the trailer and go. We don't have to load all the stuff in the back of the pickup truck. We have been busy. I know it's going to be a busy fire season. Cal Fire is hiring like 12,000 people in the state. They're hiring 4,000 up here alone. They can't get them. Oh yeah. Sorry.
Not in our count.
No.
It's got to be in North Ops is getting 400
north.
region.
Yes, the northern region.
Yeah.
So they can't even get that many people. So they bought all new equipment and new dozers, so they're anticipating a big fire season. And they hired all of our people, of course. So Brian and I will be really busy this year. So that's really all I got, so thanks.
Thank you. Craig, you have nothing to say? Huh?
We're still waiting on EDA approval to start our Vista job. We were looking at trying to start it Monday, but we're not going to make it. But as soon as we get approval, construction will begin.
So when construction begins, the on-ramps and the off-ramps at that end are going to be completely shut and they'll be detouring through town?
No, they will be completely shut, probably one at a time, and for 24 hours.
So we're gonna-
Oh, okay,
yeah,
so on
yeah.
a daily basis, you're not gonna be bringing.
Yeah, there may be some nighttime shutdowns. Caltrans is gonna kind of dictate when they want us to open and close it for different times, but
So even with all the work, they think we can still use the road?
yes, we're gonna leave. Most of the businesses, we should not have a day that you can't get into a business. You should be able to get in one driveway or the next. So,
Good.
If they're open.
yeah,
If they,
Right.
that's true.
They're open.
So,
That part we can't control. Emily?
I've got nothing.
You're done?
You need to. I'm good.
Okay. Sandy? Ryan?
No report.
Oh,
I'm always happy to talk, but,
okay.
The meter's running, though.
Right, oh, that's true. Thank you. Tim?
Spoken like a true city manager. Just real quickly, follow up, I did have a discussion yesterday with Bruce Pope with the city of Mount Shasta about our ad hoc committee. He's still trying to pin his to get us some meeting times, so be patient and waiting for that. And just real quickly, to let you know also, myself and the mayor and our Public Works Director, Craig Sharp, had a Zoom meeting today with Servitas and the college in regards to the dorms, the proposed dorms. Yep, the big discussion, of course, is our capacity with our wastewater facility. And we will be meeting next week with our city engineer firm to discuss, some possible viable solutions as well as some alternative solutions as well, and trying to get this thing done. But I think we made our point pretty clear to the college today that we do want these dorms to happen. It's just a matter of trying to figure a way to make sure that our capacity within our wastewater system can handle the flow coming from it. It's 400 students, doesn't sound like a lot, but, but they're there 24/7, and they produce quite a bit of usage of water and sewer. So anyway, just I'm excited because I think we can, if we kind of all work collectively, we can get this thing done. And of course, once we get those kids in the dorms, that frees up a lot of rental properties here in town for workforce that we desperately need here for some of these jobs that we desperately need to fill. So, and that's all I have.
Thank you.
Ms. Mayor, may I make a comment? Regarding our audit, we never did have a chance to ask Mr. Pilon about our CDBG repayment program. Says, I don't think we got that far when our time ran out, but in one of those reports, it says that we were lacking some fiscal policy and responsibility to the repayment of some of the old loans. So I'd like to maybe see if we could probably.
Staff is going to be meeting with Greater Northern and trying to.
Some policies and procedures that are effective, I think. So.
I agree, Councilmember Pellini. We have a lot of CDBG loans out there where folks are not making any payment, zero payments for years. So in essence, we've become kind of like the toothless dog and trying to, get them to comply, and it's not working. So we're going to have to figure out other alternatives to get these loans paid, because we've got a lot of them out there, and some of them have been very responsible in repaying their debt, and some of them are lacking. So we are going to be working on that.
And some of the upkeep on some of those structures is also lacking.
Yes.
So it means the value, even if we did have a procedure for foreclosure, we're probably still losing. So, okay.
Possibly.
Okay. A motion to adjourn to closed session?
I make a motion, we adjourn to closed session.
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn to closed session. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, are we going that way?